Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Sandvold Financial Group is in Minnetonka, 952-544-2837, which is separate from Osaic Wealth.
Back on the Chamber Report, Member Profiles continues. With us is Adam Storbakken. He's a financial planner with Sandvold Financial Group. Adam, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Pete.
All right, tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to become a financial advisor.
Yeah, so it's about 10 years ago my wife and I moved to the cities here, and I was attending Rasmussen University for a business degree. During that time, I had some interest in financial services, but I worked at a plumbing company in the accounting department, so that kind of pigeonholed me into the accounting department. Upon graduation, I worked as a staff accountant for a few companies in the North Loop, always knowing I wanted to get back to financial advising. Once that course kind of ran its route, I did take my securities exam licenses and I passed them and kind of got more into the financial services field.
Excellent. So you've been a part of the Chamber. You've taken extra steps as you are one of the ambassadors of the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce. What's your favorite part about being a member of the Chamber?
My favorite part about being a part of the Anoka Chamber is getting to meet the other Chamber members and seeing how amazing and selfless they really are.
Yeah.
And volunteering to be an ambassador is one of the biggest ways, I think, because you get out to meet not only people in the community, but also business leaders as well.
No doubt, and every once in a while we get a cookie or a donut or something too.
It never hurts.
All right, this one's a little out there, but if you could have dinner with any three historical figures, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
One of them I know is for sure historical. The other two, I don't know if they're historical yet, but the first one would be Roger Maris. The main reason Roger Maris is I played a lot of baseball growing up in North Dakota.
Yeah.
And as you know, Roger Maris was from North Dakota and he held the home run record for quite some time. So I always wanted to meet him. I spent a lot of time in his museum in Fargo. So that is one for sure. Another one would be Eric Church. I love country music. I love the country music he sings, and I just think it'd be really cool to meet him. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Third one can be a bit of a wild card as of late, but that would be Morgan Wallen. Same kind of reasons. I really love his music. He seems like a lot of fun, and he knows how to have a good time.
Excellent. All right, here's another one kind of out there. What is something that you believed as a child, and then how did you find out it wasn't true?
I kind of can't believe I'm going to admit to this, but again, I grew up in North Dakota, went to my grandma's farm a lot, and there was a tree claim that was just west of her house. So I would walk in the tree claim because there's honestly not much else to do out there. And I was walking in the tree claim one day, and I looked over at a tree, and there were bagels that were on the bark, and there's a bunch of them. So in my mind, that's how you got bagels, was that they grew on trees, and my grandma just happened to have one in her tree claim just west of her house. And then I found out a few years later, going to a bakery and seeing that is in fact not how you get bagels.
Crushing.
It was.
Crushing.
I don't like admitting to it, but it
that's
happened.
Funny. All right, back to financial planning. What is a common misconception that people have about financial planning?
I think one of the biggest misunderstandings is people think that you need to have a significant amount of money to get a plan started or to get a plan going even. And that's not the case at all. I mean, we can start with nothing and we'll build that wealth for you and we'll help you attain your goals.
What are three important steps to start planning for retirement if someone is feeling overwhelmed or just doesn't know where to start?
Yeah, this comes up quite a bit actually, and the things that I say is, start small, stay consistent, and never give up. And that's a big part of what my role is keeping you accountable, giving you phone calls, emails, check-ins, just to make sure that we're staying on track.
So how do you as a financial advisor approach your job differently than any of the other financial advisors? Or really, what sets your approach apart from other financial advisors?
So for me personally, when I do my initial meetings, it's not even a lot talking about markets or anything like that. I really like to get to know the person on a personal level first, figure out what drives them, what their goals are, and kind of what makes them tick. That way, once I understand that about them, I feel like I can be a much more effective communicator and a much more effective advisor for them in the future when it comes time to setting those goals.
What do you enjoy most about being a financial advisor?
I really enjoy meeting new people and getting to know them and understanding, again, what their goals are. A lot of people have different goals. Some people just want to save for a trip to Tennessee or a trip to Hawaii. Some people, more long-term, retirement. I just like learning about people and learning, not only their professions, but their lives, their families, just getting to know them.
One thing you and I have talked about at some of those ribbon cuttings before we actually do the cutting is I know community is important to you, and I know it is to Sandvold as well. Why do you think that it is important to be involved in your local community?
The important part, I think, there is just being, a person of kind of contact where somebody can go up to you and ask you like, hey, even if it isn't for financial advice, being somebody who can connect people with other people that can help somebody, I think that's very important. Getting out into the community and kind of showing your face and just letting people know that you are there and it's not just for financial planning,
You bet. You bet. All right. What personal experiences have shaped your approach to financial advising?
I would say personal experiences would be, again, going back to growing up in North Dakota, there's not a lot of people out there. So when you talk to people, you pick up really quickly on how they like to be talked to and kind of the dialect and, how they like to digest their information. So for me, the biggest part is kind of knowing your audience and understanding, person A, they might want the nitty-gritty details about financial plans, reviews, and everything like that, and a little bit more work, which is fine. Person B, they might like the 10,000-foot view where just give me the generals, give me the general sectors, what we're doing there, why we're doing it, give me your thought on it, and that's fine. So it's just kind of more about understanding who's talking to you, because the last thing you want is for somebody to zone out and not pay attention to what you're telling them, because then they don't understand the plan.
Yeah. I think about Brendan and my journey. We were in our early 20s, family was getting started, we bought the house. And I can remember my dad going, you need to look to the future. And so we did that. And I can guarantee you it wasn't much with what we really had the capabilities to do early, but the key was consistency. And now we're to the point where Brendan and I will be in a position where we can retire. So what seems like a little early can sure make a big difference late. And I bet those are stories that you're seeing as well.
Absolutely. I know one of the key things is it's never too late to start.
Right.
Just as long as you get started. Obviously, I've heard numerous times from people saying, oh, I wish I would have started younger. I wish I would have started earlier. And it's, you can't take back time, so just get started now. We'll work with what you have, and we'll kind of develop a plan based off of that.
All right. Adam, somebody out there wants to talk. They, number one, want to talk about Roger Maris, because who wouldn't? But more importantly, they want to talk to you about what potentially can be done for them as their financial planning wants to move forward. Yeah. What's that first step? How do they get a hold of you?
Best way is to give me a call down in Minnetonka there. The phone number is 952-544-2837. Ask for Adam and just mention that you saw me on the QCTV with Pete.
Adam is with Sandvold Financial Group. He is Adam Storbakken. And I'll tell you what, it's a conversation. It starts with a conversation, and I urge you to do that. The kid's a rock star. Chamber Ambassador, has been named Chamber Ambassador of the Month, and he's a community player. Those are some great steps that you might want to look into as you start to ask those questions about your financial future. All right, we're taking a break, and when we come back, more with member profiles right after this.